Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be showing you my remake of Coffee Beat. So this is a song by Travis Scott. As you can see, it's incredibly complicated, and that's why I am voicing this remake myself in order to explain everything. So I'm gonna try to get through this with a lot of detail really quick. So there's 4 steps to making a song, all of which are gonna have the times that they start on the screen right now. And without further ado, let's get into step 1. Alright, so we have a blank template opened up. We're going to start off with the samples that appear in the song. First one is this vocal sample. What I did to it is I put a lot of compression on in order to get a lot of the high transients out of the drums. I completely cut the snare out, and other than that, that's about it. Because this was taken directly from the track, there are times that the sample is replaced by Travis's actual voice. In that case, I will be putting a lot of reverb on it in the last stage in order to differentiate, since I'm not going to be using his actual voice due to copyright. There is another time that the sample is pitched down an octave, as you can see here. That's about it for that one. For this second vocal sample, there will be a lot of editing done to it, so I'm just going to play the raw sample for now. Alright, so those are the samples. Alright, now the sound selection. I'm just going to play all these songs in tandem right here. Alright, now that we got our sound selection out of the way, let's move on to step 2, which is adding effects, which I have already done. They were just disabled for that process, so we're going to start with what I have done for the first song. I added a fruity love filter, low pass, the CQ, reverb, and I added some stereo separation to it. This is what it sounds like with effects. Now here we have our vocal samples. As I already mentioned, compression, some EQs, and I chopped it up to take out some of the sounds. And this reverb is going to have an automation clip on it. This one right here. This sound likes to have a lot of pitch shifts, as we will get into the arrangement stage, but with those pitch shifts come a lot of delays. So I added 3 delays, each the same except for the cut is different. So it cuts off sooner and is quieter as it goes on. This is what that sounds like. The note of C without the pitch shifts yet. Now for this sound right here, the first guitar, I added a bit of delay to it, reverb, the CQ, another reverb, but this time very low decay and a lot of size in order to add some space and more stereo separation. This is what it sounds like now. Now for the bass, I did nothing but cut out some highs. Now for the kick, I added some stereo to it. That's pretty unique for a song to add stereo to a kick. Um, Took out the highs and I boosted the sub and bass frequencies and the mids. And one thing that's important is that it's sidechained to the hats, as the hats do get quieter and are sidechained whenever the kick hits, so that's important. And one more thing is that I added a soft clipper to the maxer because the kick does clip. That's what it sounds like. Now for the hats, no effects, I just sidechained it, just had the kick sidechain to them. They are all the same. And now for these 2 snares, there are no effects on them. They are supposed to be layered in the actual song to make the real snare that we hear. Now for this one, the vocals, I made these fully stereo. You probably didn't even hear these vocals in the actual song, and they're extremely in the background. But here's a high pass love filter. Here is an EQ and a lot of stereo separation. Here's what it sounds like. It'll be far quieter in the actual song. And now next, we have this ring sound that appears in three different patterns. And I just took the guitar and I added this gross beat preset to them. And if you put it in a pattern, this sounds like. Next, we have the strings that close out the song. Just put some really high volume reverb on it, as well as some distortion focused on the high end from RC20, as well as some vinyl noise in the background. And occasionally there is a layer of an electric guitar on the top of that violin. And for that, I just put no effects on it. It is how you heard it. Alright, I already prepared a MIDI pack for all these for this video. So we're going to start with this. Bass. Oh, here are the hi-hats. It just repeats for 8 bars. Here are the two snares wired together. For the ring sound, there are 3 different patterns to it. Here's the first. Here's the second. And here's the third. Are playing. Alright, that is it for the MIDI. Now we're going to move on to step 4, which is the arrangement. Alright, let's get to the arrangement. So this is pretty standard, just follow the song right here. All this is normal. Here are those strings in the guitar at the end. Here are those 3 texture patterns I'd shown earlier. Here are the vocals that are really quiet, which I was discussing earlier. They appear a little at the beginning and a little at the end. And now what's really important here are these automation clips. So those delays from this vocal right here, those are put there. And since the delays get gradually louder, I change the volume whenever the delay hits right here. And I mentioned pitch shifts earlier. For the first one, I keep it at this pitch. Then I up it during when the second vocal hits in this pattern. Then up again from the next vocal. when this happens. If we mute these, this is what it sounds like. As you can see, the pitch gets gradually higher. And I mentioned in the beginning that this second vocal sample, occasionally Travis Scott uses it. And in order to not use his voice due to copyright, I'm just going to be adding reverb on top of it. So here's what that sounds like. So that's going to be the simulation of his voice. Alright, now I'm going to play the full track for you guys. And the FLP will be in the description, and thanks for watching.